Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today I'm gonna show you something a little different as I try and continue to showcase smaller companies that may be doing weapons or loadouts, or maybe just something that was found on eBay that may just enhance your GI Joe or military figures or whatever type of figures you want. So first, I gotta say thank you to Coco Smooth, the Casual Collector. I actually came across his review of this, and I thought I'm gonna give it a chance. So I will leave a link to it in the description. But on eBay, this guy is selling these slings or straps for 6-inch figures, and it's $12 because there's no shipping and handling. About $12 after tax for 5 of these, and they have your little buckles on them. That buckle is more just for display, but it does have buckles, so you can adjust it if the strap is too long. And sometimes on some of them, the strap does seem a little bit too long. I actually only adjusted one, and that was the one that I used for the M16 from Mutton Junkyard. So I'm going to demonstrate how these things go on. They're actually pretty easy as long as you have the right tools and you're not trying to do it by hand. But let's just take a look at it. I already got 4 of them on, and we'll put this one on a weapon, that I wanted to use if I can find it. So anyway, if you like this type of stuff that I am giving you, and I hope it is something that does help with your collection, take a second, hit that like button, hit that bell notification, and hit that subscribe button so you're notified anytime I drop some sort of GI Joe or any type of video. So let's go take a look at all this. Alright, so here's the sling that I was showing you. Again, you can see the buckles. They look really nice, really small, so you're going to need to use something to pull them out so you can shorten them, or you have to enlarge the hole so you can get it over things. I cannot believe I'm saying this stuff. Listen, everything has a sexual innuendo. I just went there. I myself use my trusty razor blade, which I use for a lot of things. But quickly, I'm going to show you the 4 figures that I already have them on. So quickly, I put one on Big Ben and the double-barreled M4 that he has. So this guy's running in with this M60, and he's kind of stuck just having this. There's nowhere to put it. So this thing actually fits really nicely. I like the way that it was kind of just hanging down there. And as you can see here, you can see where the buckles are. This one here, again, like I said, it's more for look than anything. It really doesn't do anything, but it hangs down pretty well. So I was able just to kind of hang it down. So as he's using the other weapon, he still has this weapon on him. And I love what Classified does, where they try and make it so a lot of weapons can be held on their person, even though this one you can't. This makes it look more realistic. And we can move it so it's not always in the way, which is something that does drive me absolutely nuts. And then over here, I have an arsenal of pew-pew weapons. Right, I absolutely love this M4. Look at that. Double magazines together. So this thing is actually really cool. But I love this gun. I think this Duke, I was going to retire this Duke, I just can't. So what I did was I put the sling on it, wrapped it around his body, and made it go through the arm like we see in so many military movies where they're kind of just wrapping it around so it's not hanging down in the way. But as you can see, he can get a full range of motion, and this strap was not adjusted at all. All right, so just a nice look, and you can do so much, especially if you're going to go out and play with the toys, take them out, do photography out there in the wild. Oops. Then we have Airborne. Now this is a Mark II Designs M16 with the bayonet on it. Now, I did say in my review that it was his gun, and Johnny Reno corrected me, so I will not say that it is his gun, but Johnny Reno, this is Airborne's gun. So again, this is a long M16, and you can kind of see where I put the sling at. It's going to wrap all the way around him. I got it going up underneath his hand, and you have a lot. I mean, again, a huge range of motion. And there we can just get them right in the perfect firing position. I can bring it down. Again, if I want to loose it, I'm just going to take it off there. If I want the M16 to lay a little bit further down. Then we have it on the M16, and I think this thing fits perfectly. Now, this is the only one that I actually cut it. I shortened it, so as Mutt is checking people in, I would use him as he's going to be the one that's going to be doing a lot of security checks, because a lot of times he's going to have a junkyard with him. So I love any time that you see in a military movie, they have the M16, M4, whatever, just kind of cross their body like this. But it was too long, so I did have to shorten it just a little bit. So all you need to do, obviously, is once you adjusted it, I took the strap and I just cut it. Probably should have used something a little bit sharper. My scissors didn't seem to cut it that smoothly, but you can see how it goes on there. Again, it's not perfect because there are no actual loops to put it on, but the buckles fit really nice. And once you tighten it to a certain point, it's really not going to move around. But I can always loosen it, take it off, use it for a different weapon. Now, you just want to throw this on here. The other reason why I really like this is because I have both the Marauder Gun Runners Mac 10, right? It's Mac 10, I believe, and the Gridiron version of it. So if I want this figure to have the M16 that he comes with, which I think looks really good with him, he can't really be carrying it into all of this. So to me, it worked out perfect, and I'm really happy with my choice that I decided to go with. All right, so now let's get to putting it on a figure, and I'm decided I'm going to put it on the diver. So this is an Arsenal of Pew Pew's weapon. And let's be honest, look at that green. It matches so beautifully. If you have one of these honey badgers, this is absolutely perfect. Again, magazine does not come out, but that is not what Arsenal Pew Pew's does. And one of the reasons why I wanted to put it on this guy here was, other than it looks good on him, if you're going to have him with all his gear on, do you have a strap that's going to be long enough that it's going to be able to go around? So quickly, we'll just take a look at it here. And I'm going to see if I can actually... Okay, so this thing went over there really nicely. But you're not going to be able just to tug on it and get it to adjust, all right? This is just too small. So all I did was took my razor blade and pulled the thing out just like that. Now all you have to do is slowly tighten the strap up, like so. I'm going to pull that down there, and now you have a nice tight fit. You don't have to worry about that thing coming off. As for the front here, might be a little bit harder. Now this is going to be the point where you kind of got to make the decision. Do we want it up front, or do you want it further up or further back like this? Since if it's up too far, we can always move it out of the way. I think I'm going to leave it up front right there. So again, you just take your razor blade. You could probably use a bobby pin, which would probably be the easiest. So just use some sort of pin. And once you remove that tension, oof, man, oh man, I pulled that thing out. Oh, I pulled out the wrong part of the strap. I don't know if I'm getting that back in. Nope. We're going to find out how well this works. So now you kind of see what can go wrong. Though I'm not going to be too upset. I think I just may have to stop it again. You know, I hate really stopping and redoing stuff, but unfortunately, I completely screwed it up. I'll be damned if I'm going to redo the whole video again. So, as we just kind of adjust this all the way up, Whew, I can't believe I did that. This is the first one. I did all of these, and now I made a complete mess. So we're going to have to stop the camera and see if I can fix it. Okay, I'm back. And let me just say, do not let that happen. Make sure you are way more careful than I was, because that was a nightmare. I needed to use needle nose pliers, a safety pin. That's actually what I meant. I didn't mean bobby pin. I meant safety pin to pull this thing, to adjust it. All right. Nonetheless, we are back. And as you can see, I'm just going to wrap it around here. This thing works fully off of tension. So if you pull it out the way that I did, it is going to cause an issue. So please just be careful. I did 4 of these without a problem. The 5th one I screwed up, maybe because I was on the camera trying to focus more on showing you guys. Who knows? But either way, I'm still refinishing this review because I think these things are well worth it. If it's something you enjoy, if it's something that you want to see have some sort of sling put on so you can hold on to these, so your figures can hold on to things a little bit better. So here we have the sling, and I put it on the wrong side. Oh well, I'll adjust it later on. So here we have the sling. All right, all nice and ready to go. But again, I pulled out our sailor, our diver, because he has so much gear. And if he's going into battle, right, or he's swimming, and he needs to have that, I figured, you know what? Let's see how it actually manifests and see how it looks once we pop everything on him. So let's go with as much gear as we can get on here, and then we're going to see how this thing actually fits, right? So we got a backpack for him. We got his rebreather. And I'm not going to go over this figure, as you can go watch the video if you are interested. So there's that. Then we're going to throw this piece on him. So there you go. He is fully loaded. Now what we want is this thing going to actually fit around him? So to be honest, I would assume you actually want it underneath. I mean, it's hard to say. So we're going to throw this up on him. So we can have it right in front of him. This can go down there. Now again, I'm not saying you would want this to be directly in front of your figure like this. But what I am showing you is that the sling has enough... What did I do here? It has enough length. This thing falls off way too easily. Well, this thing is going really well, isn't it? This has more to do with the figure than the actual sling. God, I swear, it's completely... I don't even know how I ended up on that side. So there you go. Look at that. We can fit everything on here. Now I have this wonderful looking Arsenal Pew Pew's weapon that matches this figure amazingly. And as you can see, there is more than enough slack, so when he is coming out of the water, he can now grab for his honey badger when he's coming out to attack the eels or cobra troops that are on Cobra Island. All right, but that's just a little bit of what you can do here. Once this figure he's coming out, let's see if we can pose him with everything on. So even with everything on, he's coming out of the water, and you have more than enough space, or more than enough slack on this string. You can't bend, can't really turn his head because he's got the mask on. But that's a whole nother story, right? That piece keeps falling off. If you have this figure, you already know that. But look at that, and this thing fits wonderfully. All right, so there you go. These are slings. I will leave a description, or I'm sorry, a link to the eBay. Again, thank you to Coco Smooth, the Casual Collector. He is the first one that I saw this on, so I'm just doing another review for my channel. But you can also check that guy out. I will actually leave a link to his channel if you are interested in the description. So there you go. Please, yeah, just be careful. Don't do what I did. Alright, so that is my review of these slings for G.I. Joe figures. Again, they are 12 bucks for 5 on eBay. Not that bad. I'm going to leave a link to that eBay store down in the description. Also, a big thanks to Coco Smooth, the Casual Collector. This was not my find. This was his find. I will leave a link to his review so you can see what his experiences were, because maybe right now you're going, hey, you know what? You seem to struggle with that. Maybe I shouldn't get them. Well, let's see what he had to say. It's your money, so you want to do your due diligence when you are trying to decide if you want to spend it on certain things like this. But I think this will enhance a lot of photography, a lot of just shelves in general. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, but before I do, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video or something like this. Also, if you are on Instagram, a Punk with Toys, there's 2 of them. Follow Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. Now I'm going to get out of here, but hey, don't go anywhere. Up here, I'm going to leave you. How about this? A review to Arsenal of Pew Pews. Down here is going to be a playlist of all types of weapons that you can use for G.I. Joe. I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day.